What's going on, everybody? Time for another YouTube recap. So, as we moved into today's sell, we were everything about the sell pressure. If you caught my live stream, we talked a lot about the targets coming back to spies, algos here, right? So I gave you guys that 1 minute gap open, 601.93. We had a 5 minute no GP tag at 601.64. This is where the price action was going to return to today. So let's take a peek at it. We're going to go over. We traded mostly QQQs today, but to get into most of it, we said we were going to bounce most likely at open, right? So one big takeaway here on this channel, we talk a lot about shying. If we look at yesterday's price action here, you can see that, okay? There's a 50 SMA in the big red dash line there. There it is, right there. And this price action came down very close and did not hit the 50. We shied it, right? So price action got shy of that level, did not hit, retraced other, right? Because the futures actually hit the 50. Now, with that shy from yesterday, that can go and pop and fail. And if you watch the YouTube video, I said, what would it do? I said, if we open above yesterday's close, if you watch that live that we had, I said it would come up to the golden pocket, 603.61 before dumping. Here's the open. Top of pre-market, 603.61, straight down to the shy 50 hit we needed. So we predicted all of those things in the live, but some interesting things happened in the QQQ pre-market, which I'll go over here in a second, which made me trade that instead of the SPY today. So we're looking at the golden pocket zone right here. So we have an algo on the 5 minute of the SPY ETF here in pre-market. And what we do with these algos is we Fibonacci high-low point this to the downside for the extensions. So the golden pocket right here, 602.80. 602.60. And as the text says right here, over under the purple zone here, watch, right? And if you caught our live stream on Saturday, of course, I predicted the 100 EMA rejection as well. And you can see that right here and the green. So there's a lot of things going for us to utilize the algo on SPY's pre-market for resistance that we just went over, the 100 EMA for attack and the dump back down because we said it was coming down to at least 601.93 and that no tag. So if the price action, we were short in pre-market because obviously we're coming off of 603.61. That was the top call for the GP, came down and target hit right there in that 1 minute. Now continuation to the downside happens through the weekly, okay? So let's go to the QQQ and go over these very interesting algorithms that we've seen this morning. And I want you guys to see if you can pick these out on your own in the pre here, right? Now, right here, we have two different algorithms in this purple channel, right? Central time, 3 a.m. Hint, hint, that's when the U.S. stocks start trading on my time in Central. And 5 a.m., another huge piece to the puzzle here. My team knows exactly why that algo and this algo are very important, being at 5 and 6. Can't give all the info out. So what we did was we took the high-low channel of these two algorithms. Notice the 6 a.m. and the 3 a.m. Algo, algo. Those are these really awkward looking gnarly 1 minute candles. And what I did was I took a Fibonacci from the high-low. We channeled it because we have a very rare occurrence. The Fibonacci does not usually get a double algorithm in a row, right? For a high-low, we don't generally get two in the same exact row. Now they're not perfect to the penny, but they are very, very close. So what we did was we set up another purple zone on Qs. And what made that trade so interesting is Qs also had the 100 EMA reject. If you caught our live, like we said, yesterday, the green 100 EMA, we opened up in pre-market, of course, never hit the 100 EMA in live. So pre-market, live trading, we opened up. Notice right there, it missed the 100 EMA, and all day the price action came up, shied, never hit the 100 EMA, all day came up, shied the 100 EMA, all day, even close to the end of the day, shied at the 100. So we said today we were going to get a 100 EMA tag, and it would be the opposite attraction, right? So if it hits it from the bottom, dink, she's down. If it would have started up here, dink, it would have caused support. So regardless of which side it's on, it does not matter. I would have played the counter trend scalp. So if price action was going up, I would have counter trended it down like we did, and we shorted it, right? And we wanted to see anything above the golden pocket hold up or below down. Like we said, doesn't matter which way it happens. We'll go over the daily fibs here in a sec. So the rest of the intraday we wrote out for the team, right? So we shorted it all the way down to the 50 SMA daily, and we said we'd probably get a crack, right? And my target, once we broke through right here, this weekly, 524.11, and I'll go over these at the end of the video here and how we got these weeklies, which we always do. And the bust through right here netted us a gnarly crack to the 50. This is a first tag metrics. Those of you who follow all my Saturday live streams know exactly what I'm talking about. So this general area on the weekly Fibonacci, this was going to be its only attempt at a support bounce here on the counter trend. Okay, so that came in at 521.63 for the 50% retracement. That hit, popped up, and did a back test. So this is some trades that we took here today to get our $3,500 today on the top steps. I think we did something like that. Let me look on where is it? There it is, the expresses. So yeah, it looks like we did 400, 750, 375, 375, 1521. So all the 50K account bounces are now leading towards $3,000 or $4,000 or higher. So we're doing pretty good. 0 red days so far in the last 130 plus green days. So let's talk about the confirmation of this trade and how we took some of these big trade scalps. Well, we broke the weekly, as you see here, the 61.8, 524.11, came down to that 50 zone. What happens when you break a level? We look for a back test, right? So we 50 SMA daily, that's the red dash line that we've been talking about here. Price action went through that, it broke it, right? Came down to the support of the 50 fib of the weekly, 521.63, and then retraced right to the 50 SMA daily because this is called a back test, right? It's a confirmation. Break, pop, continue, okay? This is the confirmation of the lower high. Break, found support, pop, hit, again, continue, okay? And we had a couple different interesting points of interest here for the next trades. So we narrate these trades for our group and said, okay, we need to go over under this 50. So what I do is I draw these big, pretty box pictures. And if we go long above 521.63, we're back up here for the scalp. And if we go under it, we're down here for the scalp, next short target. So this text right here says over under 50 SMA daily for trend rest of day. I typed that up when we did the break and back test right here. So I said underneath that will trend, and this would be the next short target. Well, comes back down, holds that fib, and away she went. Now notice the first tag of the 50 we keep talking about is also a long entry. So when it got back over the 50 and I drew the green to green, where did I end the green? I started the green box right here at 521.63. I ended the green box directly on 524.11. That is just teal weekly, teal weekly. Those are high-low Fibonacci of last week's candle. All right. And over under 50 worked all the way back to the 1 minute algo. The 1 minute algo is on SPY, but look at the SPY chart real quick. Remember, this is a gap from yesterday. Okay. Let's delete this, make it cleaner. There's a 1 minute gap right here from the huge sell, 601.93. Look at the return that this price action does. Launches itself into the abyss, high or low, gets back over the 50 SMA daily on SPY, and returns right to the 1 minute gap zone that we cooked back here. So we broke through that zone all the way back up and up, and 601.93. So as we came back down to the dive afterward, we were looking for a continuation down, and I figured it was just going to be a sell day, right? And we did get an intraday algorithm, which is also very interesting here in SPY. This is an intraday algo. Usually we look for these tall random wick candles in pre-market. We always talk about the algo candles that are displayed on Thinkorswim. No other platform has these correctly. Not TradingView. Don't comment that. That's junk. My chat knows why. So we often high-load these algorithms that we find. Let's delete some of the big ones because we're going to go over that in the last part of the video. But the other intraday setup was off the SPY here, right? So let's take this into consideration. When we draw a high-low fib, whenever we get inside that box, we generally come back. Now, look what happened here. This fib is drawn on the algo, right? Price action holds the bottom, pushes up. Did it hit the 50 fib? 599.30? No, it shied it. Again, pushes up, no hit, shy. Right? All the way down. And what do we look for once we come outside the fib box? It doesn't matter if it's long or short. If we're outside the range of the box, first was down, as you can see here, we generally look for the 1618. So if I take the fibs and overlap these with some short fibs extensions to the downside, we're going to look for that 1618. Wow, that's tough. So the fib box was made. We drop right into the 1618, picks back up. Now, perfectly fine. Retrace. Where does it go? Fib box again. Pointed to the upside. Wow, 1618. Real tough, right? This is how we trade fibs. We love fibs. Play the fibs. Fibs is the best. All right, we had some more fibs for more algorithms here at the end of the day, which I'm going to teach the rest of this close of the day private for my group tomorrow on how we're going to be messing with that. But there is some very interesting stuff there going on the fibs. So this intraday algo really gave us the perfect short bottom and the perfect top bottom. So you could have played that range all day today, right? And we were picked further downside under the 50 SMA. We now have a daily close below the 50 SMA, right? And if you watched our live video, we told you exactly where we thought we were going for the February sell, okay? So not going to go over all that. The live is there, but we're on the way down. And generally speaking, the sentiment of the end of February is generally a sell. So if you look on your charts, go back on any year, you will usually get the last week of February on a nice weekly red candle. That is general sentiment. So last but not least, I just want to touch on NQ and the VIX here, and then we're gonna go into the dailies right now. But we're gonna start fresh, maybe. Oh, there we go. Took a second to load there. So I'm going to start with a fresh chart here because we did talk about the no GPs and on the way down, so on and so forth. All right. All right, nice and fresh. So how do we develop this trade real quick? Well, the last daily, obviously Friday, was the dump ski. We fib this high-low, right? And then we pick the close for a direction. Like we said, if it was above this 100 fib and trending, we had a chance to go to 21,878. If it broke out, we're going to 21,283.68. Where our final targets are going to be developed off the weekly. And this is how we got those tags, okay? This is just the daily fib, okay? That's Friday's candle pointed to the downside. We're going to move to the weekly now and show you how we got those targets for first tag metrics as well. This one was a big precursor here. We showed you on QQQ and SPY about 4 times in the last week, so I'm not going to redo those. We're going to do these on here. And teal is usually my weekly color. So if you ever see those teal fibs, they're weekly. So let's look like we did. Let's take a look at what we had at the open here, okay? So we're on the 5-minute chart, and this is what I did for my opening trade. I seen the pop, so guaranteed long, right? What did we close on? Like we said at the beginning of the video. We said the futures did what? Hit the 50. Right here, 50 SMA daily, 50 SMA daily, 50 SMA daily. We closed right on it. So more often than not, 5 p.m. is going to be a opportunity to see the push and go. Okay, we're not on Zoom, so it doesn't matter if we have a connection to Zoom. Jesus. So as we came into that piece of the pie here, we came into that 5-minute jump and it left right to the upside, okay? 50, 50, 50, and then at the open, I bought that instantly, ran that up, okay? We also talked a lot about the 100 EMA needing a back test earlier in the video as well. Notice that we opened up and ran long to the 100 EMA, right? And that's the first tag, so it had the opposite force. Ding, ding, and then caused a little bit of the downside. How would we have picked this bottom? Well, let's take a little quick peek at the NQ day trade here. I fibbed out the 5-minute high-low of the opening range. Why? Because it had a gap. And the gap is right here from the close of Friday to the open of today's Monday, okay? And I fibbed out the high-low, pointed it to the upside, and I extend this to the right, and I'll show you exactly how we got the market bottom overnight. You'll never guess where it hit. Stretch this out. GP. So 5-minute high-low, waited for it to run up. What did it hit? 2618, 1618. Couldn't hold the 2618. Right back down to the golden pocket that needed a tag. These love Fibonacci's. Now, one interesting point was the 50 was not actually tagged. It was just the top channel. So if we're looking at the exact 50% retracement, that's 21,697.95. That's the gold 50. We only got 61.8. We got the 21,702.95 right here, right? We actually did not hit the gold. So as we see a chance to come back down to there, this is where all the shorts pre-market had. We hopped on as fast as we could. We said short, 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 short at the open. Doesn't matter about this huge wick rejection. We're going to come down, 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 down on the 15 and everything. So where did we go to, or where had my orders? I shorted the open right into the 50 fib, right? And then we started getting speed through the 50, and that's when I said, no, we're going to the weeklies again. So what did the weekly look like? Right here, pierced through, bought this weekly hit, right here, scalped that. And this was our green trade scalp, went from the 50 up to the 61.8, right? Weekly, fib to fib, fib to fib. And then we said as long as we're under that 50, over under, right? Snacked it right back up, hit resistance and continuation and closed under the 50. So where are we going? Well, right here, 21,335.91. Okay. So this is going to be a first tag, and that's going to be a magnet. So as long as we stay under 21,456.81, we're going to continue that drain. And a lot of that reason is because of our friends over at NVIDIA. We have Wednesday earnings like we covered in our last live stream for NVIDIA, and that could set the tone for the semiconductor sell-off for the chippies, right? And if we lose this weekly golden pocket that we have right here, I'll show you where the targets are going to be. Anything under for Tuesday and Wednesday, obviously leading into ER for NVIDIA. We're going to stick any trend under that 50. We're going to fill up this weekly. So this entire thing is going to be red biased under 21,456.81. That is the 50. Pretty much call it 21,500, right? Good psychological half whole dollar. So even if this pops up for a little bit overnight, does whatever it wants to do, we should continue to the 21K. I know it's a long way down, but that's where we're going to go. And that's in the short term, just for the week leading into NVIDIA. Well, where else are we going to go? Well, if we go to the daily chart here, we're going to notice some real big support wicks that came off that 100 EMA, and I think we might have a chance to really panic that down to some of these fibbies here that are going to be into that 20,000 range, okay? I have some algos that I can't really share here that are going to be coming down, and we did it on the live. On the backside, we'll do it on Qs for you because that'll be an easier view as well. And we do have some opportune sells here, so Qs down to 511. And this gap is filled, right? Yeah, that's the gap lower because we have the no GP floater. There it is right there. So we talked a lot about the 2-3, February 3rd candle, okay? So let me go back to, okay, well, bam. So this candle right here, 2-3. This is going to be our next stop through the weeklies because this is another daily candle with no GP. So February 3rd, we're going to be looking at 516, okay? So continuation closed underneath 520.89. We just got to stay inside the fib box of February 3rd's high low, and we will continue the drain to the golden pocket and potentially farther because into February is bearish. And if you watch our Saturday live, I actually gave all the targets to the downside for if this causes our correction, and we know where this is going. So check out that live on our last stream on, I keep saying Saturday, Sunday. It was yesterday, live stream. Go ahead and check that out, and we'll get back to you with that. And if you want to see me do this live and you guys want to tune in, the link is in the description to watch me narrate and pull these trades for our premium Discord and for every day we go over the technical analysis, fibs, and I watch you guys comment and answer all questions for you guys. So links in the description for that. If you guys just want to tune into the next YouTube, also great. We'll see you then. Trade safe.